Hello, this is a presentation on the state of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, also known as DACA. My name is Ramon Becerra Alcantar. I am a paralegal and a Department of Justice accredited legal representative in the immigration unit at the East Bay Community Law Center. I am joined by my colleague, Melissa.
Hi, my name is Melissa Phatharanavik. I'm a staff attorney and clinical supervisor in the immigration unit at the East Bay Community Law Center.
In this presentation, we are going to give you a brief overview of the current state of the DACA program by answering the questions like, what is DACA? What is the current status of the DACA program? Who can apply to DACA right now? Who is eligible for DACA? And after that, we will give you an overview of other common immigration options. At the end, we will go over how you can access our free immigration legal services at the different partnerships that we have in the East Bay. So what is DACA? DACA is a program created by President Obama in 2012 as a result of youth organizing after Congress failed to pass the DREAM Act. The program provides undocumented immigrants temporary protection from deportation and allows those eligible for the program to receive a work permit. Today, the Trump administration is working to dismantle the program completely. DACA remains in effect with certain limitations thanks to the immigration advocates fighting back against Trump. Here's a look at the litigation timeline starting from September 2017, the first time that the Trump administration attempted to eliminate DACA, and up until the recent DACA news from August 2020, which my colleague Melissa will talk about next.
So the current status of the DACA program at this time, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS, is not accepting first-time DACA applications. USCIS is accepting DACA renewal applications, which means that anyone who currently has DACA or has had DACA in the past can renew their DACA or apply for DACA again now. USCIS is also accepting advanced parole or travel document applications, but only under exceptional circumstances. So as Ramon very briefly mentioned, in June 2020, the Supreme Court of the United States ruled that the Trump administration's attempt to end the DACA program was unlawful. So under the Supreme Court decision, DACA recipients continue to be protected from deportation and eligible for benefits such as work authorization. The Supreme Court decision should have restored the DACA program completely, but the Trump administration has since substantially limited the program. So under the Trump administration in July 2020, the Department of Homeland Security released a memorandum limiting the DACA program in various ways. And I'll talk about that in the next slide. After the memorandum from the Department of Homeland Security was released, USCIS then provided some implementing guidance in August 2020, and this is where we stand now. They have made clear that they will reject all initial or first-time DACA applications. So this effectively eliminates the eligibility for anyone who's never had DACA before. So if you've never had DACA before, you can't now apply. USCIS will reject any DACA renewal applications filed more than 150 days in advance of your current DACA expiration. So this means that if your DACA is expiring within 150 days, you can apply to renew your DACA. USCIS will also issue DACA protection or work authorization for only a 1-year period instead of 2 years. This means that you now have to renew your DACA annually instead of every 2 years. Unfortunately, the fee is still the same. It's $495, so that's a fee that you would now have to pay every year to renew your DACA rather than every 2 years. The only exception is that if you're filing for a replacement for your 2-year work permit for any reason, your replacement work permit card will be issued for the same 2-year period. USCIS will also consider advanced parole applications under, quote, exceptional circumstances, and this includes urgent humanitarian reasons or if you need to travel for a significant public benefit. This is decided on a case-by-case basis, and it's entirely up to USCIS whether they will approve or deny your request for advanced parole. Some examples they've given of, quote, exceptional circumstances, or if you need to travel outside of the US to obtain like life-sustaining medical treatment that's not available in the United States, or if you need to travel to support the immediate safety, well-being, or care of an immediate relative. And that can be a parent, a grandparent, or a minor child that lives outside of the United States. If you think that you could qualify for advanced parole, we encourage you to talk to a legal representative about the risks and advantages of traveling on advanced parole. So to summarize again, who can apply for DACA right now? Current DACA recipients. So if your DACA is expiring within 150 days, you can apply to renew your DACA now. Individuals with expired or terminated DACA, you can still apply for DACA even if your DACA expired or was terminated for some reason. If your DACA expired more than a year ago, you have to complete your application as if it were your first time applying. In both cases, you should speak to a legal representative if you have any sort of criminal history, particularly if you have like previously undisclosed criminal history since your last DACA application. For first-time applicants, who is eligible for DACA? So first-time DACA applications are not currently being accepted, but it's always a good idea for anyone who's undocumented to be screened for DACA or for any other immigration remedies. So even though you're not able to apply right now, it's important to understand whether you're eligible for DACA and might be able to apply in the future. So you may be eligible for DACA if you were born on or after June 16th, 1981. You came to the US before you turned 16 years old, and you've lived in the US continuously since June 15th, 2007, up to the present time. You had to have graduated, you have to be either currently in school or have graduated high school or obtained a GED. And most importantly, you cannot have been convicted of a felony, significant misdemeanor, or 3 or more other misdemeanors. So if you think you're eligible, or even if you just want to be screened, you should speak to a legal representative about applying for the first time to find out, what you can do now to prepare for the day that hopefully the DACA program is opened up to everybody again. One thing that you can do now is start gathering your proof of physical presence. So as you can see here, you had to have been in the United States since June 15th, 2007 to the present time, and you have to show USCIS that you've been here in the United States all that time. So what you can do now, even though you're not able to apply at this time, is at the very least start gathering your proof, and that can be anything from school records, like report cards, attendance records, transcripts, or medical records, something that shows that you've been living here in the United States. Some common complications that may make you ineligible for DACA are if you have a criminal history. So to qualify for DACA, you must not, quote, pose a threat to national security or public safety, and you have not been convicted of either a felony, a significant misdemeanor, or 3 or more other misdemeanors. And you'll see here on the slide the specific question that you'll be asked on the application. We've also listed here on the slide the definition of what a felony and significant misdemeanor is. In general, minor traffic offenses will not be considered a misdemeanor, but they do have to be minor traffic offenses. And in any case, if you've ever had any sort of contact with law enforcement or any sort of criminal history, you should talk to a legal representative so they can talk to you about what the potential risks and consequences are and help you determine whether you're eligible for DACA.
It is also important to remember that DACA does not lead to legal permanent resident status or U.S. citizenship. For that reason, I will provide an overview of some of the other most common immigration options available. I'm going to start with special immigrant juvenile status, also known as SIJS. SIJS is available for children that are unmarried and under the age of 21 have been abused, abandoned, or neglected by one or both of their biological parents and they can apply to become legal permanent residents. U visa is available for immigrant victims of certain crimes that have been helpful in criminal investigations or prosecution. The visa can lead to legal permanent residency after obtaining the U visa status. A T visa is a type of visa allowing certain survivors of human trafficking and immediate family members to remain and work in the United States and could lead to a path to permanent residency as well. VAWA, the Violence Against Women Act, allows an abused spouse or child of a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident or an abused parent of a U.S. citizen to self-petition for lawful status in the United States. VAWA also allows you to later apply to become a legal permanent resident. Asylum is available for individuals who fear returning to their home country because they have been targeted because of their race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership in a social group. After 1 year of having an asylum status, the person can apply to become a legal permanent resident. Lastly, individuals who are legal permanent residents or U.S. citizens may be able to petition for their spouse, children, parents, siblings, and siblings to become legal permanent residents. One thing that we want to remind you all is that if you have a criminal history, prior deportations, have accrued illegal presence, or enter illegally to the United States, to speak to an immigration attorney or legal representative to see how this might affect your eligibility for an immigration relief. The East Bay Community Law Center partners with selected community colleges and provides free immigration legal services to students enrolled. Here's a list of the community colleges that we are providing free immigration legal services, including the websites you can visit to make a consultation appointment. Similarly, EBCLC partners with undocumented student program at UC Berkeley to provide free legal services to undocumented students. Here's a list that you can visit to make a consultation appointment if you are a current student at UC Berkeley, a UC Berkeley student who graduated within 6 months. Next, Melissa will talk about what to expect at your consultation appointment.
So at your consultation appointment with EBCLC, you'll be meeting with either an attorney or legal representative. And we want everyone to understand what to expect at a consultation. What we do at a consultation is do a general intake. So we'll ask you some basic information about your income, your household information. We'll also ask you questions about your immigration history, such as your entry into the United States, when and how you first came to the United States. Questions about your family history, such as whether you have relatives in the US, whether you're married, whether you have children, and questions about your criminal history and if you've ever had any contact with law enforcement generally. We'll also ask questions about your health status and anything else in your background that we think might be helpful in understanding whether there may be specific immigration relief options for you. And in general, we view the consultation as an information gathering session for us to assess what your immigration relief options are. And we'll talk with you about any issues that may lead to such immigration relief, such as whether you have fear of returning to your home country, whether you've ever been a victim of a crime or domestic violence, etc. In general, we try to assess during the consultation what the issues in your case are, and decide whether we can refer your case internally or elsewhere in order to best help and support you. Here's a list of additional resources that you can access. We keep our website updated with the latest information on DACA at ebclc.org/DACA-legal-services. So you can go there for the most recent updates on the DACA program. If you have questions about your specific situation, please make an individual legal appointment. If you are a student at UC Berkeley, Chabot College, College of Alameda, Laney College, or Merritt College, you can access the online appointment system listed on the previous slides, or you can also reach out to us by email, and the individual email addresses for each campus are listed here. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching or listening, and we look forward to serving you.